and then Lindgren.
We are now live.
Okay. Well, let's start over again then. Welcome to the 2013 USCA Junior Nationals, live from Broomstones Curling Club in Wayland, Massachusetts. Our feature sheet tonight is sheet 2, that is Fowler from Alaska versus Lindgren from North Dakota. Fowler is in yellow, peer seated at number 8 versus North Dakota. Lindgren in red, seated number 5.
Yeah, looks like we've got a good batch of games here tonight. This is Ben Clark, and that of course was Adam Jacobson. We also have Fred Lindgren to be monitoring the chat and joining in as well. A quick rundown of the other sheets that are going on right now. We have Brecky from North Dakota playing Solom, the USCA team, on sheet 1. Sheet 3, we have the Sweet team from Washington playing Schroeder of Michigan. And sheet 4, we have a matchup of Christensen from Minnesota playing the Anderson team from Pennsylvania, and a matchup of 2 of the undefeated teams still on the ladies' side.
So far on our featured sheet, it's been a very conservative game. We've missed a couple of first shots as we were scrambling to make sure we were prepared for this draw for the broadcast. But we're all set now, and I think we've seen set up a guard, starting with draw in the house, and then hit. Now we're seeing an attempt at a corner guard by Fowler with hammer to try and set up a deuce in the first.
So hey, Ben and Adam, this is Fred. I'll try to keep an eye on the other games for you. As Ben mentioned, we do have 2 undefeated teams playing each other tonight, Christensen and Anderson. We also have the Solom team that's undefeated, so at least one of those teams will not be undefeated at the end of the night. So I'll try to keep an eye on those other games for you and chime in and reply to any questions. So if you guys are online, have questions for us, shoot away. Try to keep it fun. We've been getting an amazing number of viewers on these broadcasts, so hopefully you're all in there and able to watch.
Yeah, I remember I was when I was watching last night from home, I saw we were over what was it? We were at 350 or something.
Yeah, we get the 365 last night, and we had 3 great games.
Yeah,
They all went to 3 games went to last shot last night.
There were some fantastic games. I said I was going to go to sleep, but I ended up staying up and watching all of them. So
with nothing else in play but the corner guard from their last rock, Fowler is looking to draw behind and set up the deuce with the first vice rock, or sorry, second vice rock.
Thinks it's a little strong. Although on the first couple rocks thrown down there, it might catch some frost, but sweepers are just watching it.
Well, playing a little bit more aggressive, Lindgren, instead of trying to get rid of that guard, is going to try to use it and set up the force of one or a steal by just going around.
It's pretty good. Sweepers are just cleaning.
That 15 minutes of practice before the game, it kind of gives you a little more confidence in going for the draw in the first inning instead of trying to play very conservative.
Definitely. Looks like a very nice shot by Sigurdsson. She doesn't look like they're going to quite get it buried, but then probably Alaska will be chasing that. Yep, kind of normal hit looks like.
The Alaska team is rotating their third and second position. Tonight we have Naomi Schomer playing vice. This is her second rock. It's a very nice result. Leaves it uncovered for red to try and roll underneath, but definitely gets rid of the dangerous red stone.
No, I assume they're not rotating who's in the house. So, is the person playing who's throwing third stones now? Are they also playing vice?
Oh.
It's
You wouldn't know. Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
So
okay.
they are rotating actually who is in the house.
Oh, they are.
I believe a straight vice second swap, the traditional lineup. So we have Cora Farrell, one of the, I believe the front end is both 13-year-olds, the vice 15 and the skip 19. So it's, I think, on average the youngest team we have. So they're giving the younger Cora a bit more of experience at vice every couple of games.
Gotcha. That makes sense. We got some young teams here, though. I don't know. I think that 11-year-old on North Dakota would drag them down pretty low.
Yeah, my information comes directly from the Alaska coach, which may not be completely unbiased, but I'm assuming that he's done the math.
As I say, as I was saying with Nate earlier, it's nice to see some of these young teams in there.
Is the audio getting better for us?
Hope you guys can hear us all out there. We looking at the chat. Let us know if you continue not to be able to hear us.
Yeah, definitely for me, I'm trying my best to be very clear and loud into the mic, but I don't want to sort of blast it out.
Yeah, just keep yelling at us. We'll get louder eventually.
Boost the test.
Fred is loud and clear. Maybe
Testing.
with this mic.
I'm going to switch that. And the idea is to speak nice and strong into that. So we've Fred and I have switched mics. I hope this is much better. Anyway, our situation currently is with Fowler sitting one rock in the back 12 behind that guard, straight behind the guard, but with plenty of room to come in between the guard and the currently shot rock.
Looks like it's exactly what North Dakota's doing. I'm not sure how deep they're going to pull this. Looks like they're coming right down on it.
Yeah, Super's pulled off for weight pretty early.
All right, hopefully we got those audio problems cleaned up now.
So all this leaves for Fowler is a force of a draw for one with her hammer rock. She was able to get hammer by drawing to the top of the button versus Lindgren's draw to the side of the forefoot with the last shot draw challenge.
Super's are on it pretty early. That looks like they got it. No problem. Should be a one for Alaska. Pretty well played in by North Dakota.
So over on sheet 4, Sarah Anderson's coming down. She's got a hit with her hammer shot to try to line 2. So take 2 in the end.
Similarly on sheet 3, well, somewhat similarly, we have a hammer rock on sheet 3. It's Schroeder trying to throw, looks like a tap up against 3.
stays in the house. And she gets her two.
So that's
First time with the hammer.
2-0 Anderson over Christensen on sheet 4. On sheet 3, it winds up being a draw.
A little firm, though.
Yeah, a little deep. Looks like it's going to be 3 red, so that'll be 3 for Sweet from Washington over Schroeder
And sheet 1.
from Michigan.
Sheet 1, Brecky did pick up 1 with the hammer against the high-performance team Solon. So,
So our game is back underway on sheet 2. Alaska drawing it in, trying to force North Dakota to deal with that stone, or be very patient and go with those corner guards to generate 2. It's pretty early in the game.
looks pretty good. I feel like North Dakota.
So a nice clean hit.
Yeah, I feel like North Dakota feels pretty confident in their hits here. They've been calling them without hesitation. But yeah, nice shot by Shaft.
Seems like it's a lower weight of a hit attempt. They're calling lots of sweep, but it's going to curl just past the stone by about 1.5 feet. So very swingy from the inside out so far from every draw we've seen.
North Dakota coming down to split the house, looks like. Streamers are on it, but not going too hard. They probably look pretty happy with it.
Oh, now they're starting to.
Oh, now, yeah, now they're. Looks like they still have it. They really got to work, though.
It's going to go a little short, but it is a corner guard with hammer. Split across the house from their shot rock, so it does still set them up for the deuce, even if Fowler makes this hit. This one's kind of hanging out a little wider than they would like it to, but it is going to make contact with the stone. Just get a nice roll.
Threw an awful lot of weight there. I think that's why it hung on her. But that's actually a pretty nice position. That's a hard stone to take out.
Even with the corner guard going after this stone just back a tee in the very far 12. Don't want to accidentally give up a big end in any kind of way, certainly up front in the game. So difficult to make a nose hit on that outside, and that was perfectly executed.
And Fowler's going to hit it right back. Get the hit, but they are going to roll out. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2 gets a chance to pull one behind that corner guard.
Certainly the advantage of leaving that draw a little short earlier was that it's not as tempting for Fowler to go after, and now they can use it. The sweepers don't really seem to want to get on this one.
The weight's pretty close to right, and they got plenty of room, so they're going to let it curl as much as they can right now. Yeah, it's a little plus. Good shot, though.
Looks
Yes.
looks eerily similar to the same setup for Fowler in the last end. But Fowler's being more aggressive and going for the center guard instead of trying to draw down behind that corner guard.
Yeah, it's a little earlier at the end, but where it was last time around. But I agree, this is an aggressive play. But I like to see that. I've been rooting for that all week. As impressive as it is to see them hit 10 times in a row.
Well, the free guard zone kind of encourages some of this for sure. It's gonna be in the house anyways, and should out count, but not be fully buried.
Yeah, they're not going to tuck it where Fowler would like, so I think that's going to be another hit for Lindgren.
Does leave the jam possibility, certainly. But the perfect hit and roll here really sets up for a nice 2 or 3.
Indicating it's a little upweight, but we're at risk for the jam, but we're going to get it and roll out. Yeah. They can live with that.
Yes, that certainly doesn't hurt their chances for 2 right now. Must apologize for all the audio quality problems. We're working through them as quickly as we can. Just bear with us if you can. If you can hear this to begin with.
But Ben Tucker is here now that North Dakota is playing. That we hear.
So Fowler changing strategy here with her Weiss's second rock. That would be Naomi Schomer trying to come in similarly to Lindgren's team's Weiss rocks in the last end, thrown by Catherine Sigurdsson.
Didn't tuck it quite as close as Sigurdsson did last end, but they are still. Lindgren is going to draw down to it.
Looks like they're mostly sweeping for line here.
Yeah, they're pretty tight on that guard. I think they're going to get around, but they might come with a little more. Oh, it's a very nice shot, actually.
That's a beauty.
Yes, indeed.
A minimal tap, half buried, maybe a little exposed because it's on the outside from a corner guard, or inside of a corner guard, so it's a little more exposed from a hack to actually get to, but it's not an easy stone to remove by any case.
Yeah, it looks like they were indicating a bump here rather than just coming right down on it. Should be exposed enough for that, but you're going to need very touch weight.
Yeah, it looks more like just a little freeze here.
That's what I thought at first, but she pulled the broom in a little bit.
Could be a slight tap.
See if she can come across the top there.
looks a little inside the broom off the release, but it's got plenty of weight.
Oh no, they're indicating a freeze.
Well, that's a nice tap to sit 1 and 3. But that second rock, owned by the Lindgren rink, is pretty well frozen to the third stone by the Fowler rink. So if Lindgren can get rid of this yellow stone, she can really set up for potentially up to 4 or more. But actually, just up to 4. But right now we're looking at just a simple, I think, hit. Probably roll underneath the guard. There is a double here, though, if she does hit it on the right side.
I'd be real surprised if they went anywhere near that one, though.
Yeah, you want to avoid.
I think, yeah, they're going to avoid the jam altogether.
Meanwhile, Corey Christensen is throwing her last shot at the second end. Looks like she's trying to peel the blank the end against Sarah Anderson. They're on it all the way down.
So they do jam on our feature cheat here, but they roll out the yellow as well. So just sitting 1 yellow.
I'm not entirely sure if that was the called shot, if they were trying to throw the double, which was definitely there. But either way, they did jam.
And Corey Christensen makes a shot for the blank on sheet 4, so it's 2-0 after 2 for Pennsylvania Anderson. Good. Oh, a few mic issues tonight.
So the elastic skip, Caitlin Fowler trying to draw a second rock top 8 behind the corner guard. Set up a nice force of, or at least a shot for a force of 1, potentially for a steal. It's going to come a little deeper.
Gotta be careful with this, though. All right, so she managed to get that just about to nose, which she did need to do, because if she'd let that a little further out, she could have. There might have been a double for 2. As it is, looks like they're just going to draw down.
Yeah,
take their 1.
Plenty of good backing. Just got to hit a little more than a stone and a half into the 8-foot. On sheet 1, we have the Solom rink attempting a hit for 2 with hammer.
She got it. Amanda Solom takes 2.
So that is a 2-1 Solom over Brecky on our sheet 1 to our left.
It's a nice shot by North Dakota. Didn't use the backing they had, but fortunately had just the right weight.
So we are all tied up after 2 forces, 1-1, going into the third end. On sheet number 3, Schroeder is looking at another draw against 3 with her hammer rock.
This one more open than the last.
Much more open.
This one shouldn't be a problem, but yeah, she's gonna. That early 3 is tough.
It's not a good. It never feels good as a skip to be facing 3 with your last rock 2 ends in a row, but they should be able to put it together, and if they can, especially if they make this shot, should boost their momentum.
They're hitting it pretty hard. Possibly for line. Weight and line.
Looks good.
Wow, just got a nice little roll to the inside to count one. So
there was one stone in the 4 or top, just top of 4, and 2 in the 12-foot. So they actually just ticked off the one in the top of the 4 to roll in just a little bit deeper and take their 1. So now it is 3-1 in favor of Sweet on sheet 3.
what can we do?
On our feature sheet, we have corner guard by Lindgren. I think they were mostly going, or more likely going for the center, but it just overcurled a bit. And Fowler trying to throw another corner on the other side, but going in a little deeper.
Yeah, North Dakota will hit.
You can definitely see the confidence in calling the hits for the front end.
Definitely. They're pretty tight here. I don't think they're going to get this one. All right, now Fowler's going to put up that corner guard in front.
Sweepers either like the weight or they think it might just go a little bit deep. A little deeper than a guard, but the Lindgren is going to be able to call a takeout no matter what. So it's actually not bad being in top 12 with a little bit of distance.
It's pretty close, though. Yeah, the angle's not great for the double, but they probably would have been happy with something a little higher up.
This is hanging out to the outside a little bit.
She's going to get the front, but yeah, I think that's all she's getting. Not bad, though.
Yeah, the curls, it's been quite weight dependent, especially on the outsides here. So a little bit extra weight, a little bit outside, and it really won't come back as much as you hope it would. Looks like we had a little bit of a sweep call interference across sheets there, where I think sheet 4 was calling the sheet 3 sweepers for a shot there.
Yeah, everybody will be yelling out there. You got to be able to pick your skip out of the crowd. It's always a challenge to distinguish yourself out there.
This one's not curling over as much as they hoped it would. But regardless if North Dakota is able to hit this one, Fowler will have 2 corner guards to use. But if they do have a nice, perfect hit and roll behind, that does kind of make it a little bit tough to generate the points they're looking for.
Yeah, they didn't quite get that guard where they wanted. And North Dakota's looking pretty good here. They'll get a nice little flop inside. Ooh, not as much as I thought they'd get.
They were very patient on the sweep, but it just didn't curl enough to get the perfect roll.
As you say, with the increased weight, they weren't getting much comeback at all. Now, Adam, how long have you been out of junior curling? When did you age out?
Who?
You.
I never did junior curling.
Oh, really?
No.
Really? I thought you did junior curling. I
No, this
swear.
is actually my 6th year curling overall.
Huh. Wow. I swear I remember you were juniors. Okay.
He's curled 6 years just this year. That was the reason we made change our membership policies.
I appreciate the compliment that I play juniors.
I swear I remember that. And I don't
I'll
know.
have to find my doppelganger in the former junior list. So the Fowler rink winds up just peeling their corner guard, exposing the shot rock, but that leaves Lindgren with an opportunity to split the house and set up another force behind the corner guard. And depending on how things go, certainly they'd love a steal, but you want to make sure that you make it difficult for the other team to generate multiples. This looks like they're going
Fowler
to
throwing a hit and roll at least.
Yeah, it looks like the hit and roll is the A shot for the call, but the A plus shot would be the double if it hangs out a little wide, probably.
It's a really long double. I'm trouble believing that's the call. I think it's probably a hit and a roll onto the other one, but she gave an awful lot of ice. Okay, here it comes. Actually, might be coming too much.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be just about nose.
Oh.
It's at second.
Okay.
It's still not bad. The red rock that is counting right now is also back of tee, so that leaves a lot of room to get down to that rock and potentially or even hit a double if the North Dakota gets the roll that they're actually calling right now. So it's this end is still up for the take.
Yeah, North Dakota wants to make sure they keep two in here though to make Fowler take.
That's not a bad result. Keeping it split in the house.
Absolutely, that's still really long for the any potential double.
So the aggressive call to actually get to your two here, I think, is what she's calling here, to go behind this corner guard and sit in front of the one counting redstone, or the number one counting redstone.
Right.
Ignore the one in the top 12. They're sweeping Naomi Schumer's rock very hard. Looks like it's going to wind up potentially just a guard. So that comes up a little shorter than they needed or desired, but that doesn't get rid of any options. The draw is still there behind the now two corner guard side, but North Dakota is hoping to block that.
They'll probably tuck another one behind if they can, and if they're hanging a little bit, I'm sure they wouldn't mind just putting one top 8 or so.
Right, I think, yeah, just something just to the left of the center line to all the way behind those corner guards, top 12, top 8, blocking the draw path onto the button and also down to their currently counting rock, number 1.
They are hanging.
Meanwhile, over on sheet 4, Corey Christensen just ticked a guard with her first shot and rolled out. Sarah Anderson does not have the hammer, but she's line 2 currently, and going to try to throw a guard.
Back on the featured sheet, Lindgren's draw comes a little deeper than she wanted, I think, and leaves a pretty nice pocket for Fowler to draw down to.
All right, with her first rock, if she can get one in the top of the 4-foot in front of these red rocks, that would make it really tough for Lindgren to remove.
It's on the way. A little tight, looks like. They're on it right away.
It looks like one sweeper jumped on it even before she released it, thinking it might be a little light. It's going to crash on this guard.
Light and narrow, yeah, they are on the guards.
And unfortunately, it crashes on the high guard and rolls over to leave two yellow guards that are raisable, but much tougher rocks to raise than to draw around.
Yeah, that's going to really make it tough even for their one. Looks like North Dakota is going to put up a guard possibly to block the runbacks. Oh, no, I guess not. Maybe not.
Looked like an aggressive call. The vice was signaling in the 4-foot.
Yeah, the first signal was a guard up front, which I think might be the shot I like more. I feel like coming in here.
It does look like there's a port if Fowler so desired to try and throw a hit through them, through the two yellows, to get either the reds and potentially just sit for one.
So we have a big shot here on sheet 4. Corey Christensen's throwing against 3. And I think she's trying to draw in. So Anderson put one top 8, one back 4 lined up, and she's trying to draw basically to the pot against 3. Corey Christensen of Minnesota.
This is an aggressive play by Lindgren back on our featured sheet.
Yeah, she's got a lot of room right now to get around this guard.
It looks like a fine shot where it's going now, but it leaves Fowler a fair number of options with the hammer here.
Yeah, it's going to go behind the tee, back 8, back 12, and leave 3 rocks sitting in the back.
Corey Christensen makes a nice shot, I believe, to take one.
It's a tight game over there, as we expected with how those two teams have been playing.
So after the blank in the second in, it looks like they were only able to get one with hammer. So now it is 2-1. Anderson of Pennsylvania versus Minnesota, Christensen.
On sheet 3, there's 3 yellows in the house for Schroeder, and Shelby Sweet is throwing her first rock, and she's going to try to move at least 2 of them.
Definitely looks like the momentum for Schroeder's team is improved after making the draw against the 3 in the last end.
And Sweet flashes it.
Yeah, hung out a little bit on her, unfortunately.
That was only her first rock, so that still leaves a really tough position.
I'm sure Schroeder's going to make that shot harder, though. Okay, Fowler. Not sure what Fowler's throwing here.
Looks like the draw around with backing.
Yeah, they got to make up. All right.
Looks like it's going to be just good. That's a nice draw. Ends up being a tap, a little heavy, but the vice was right that it was not going to curl over and hit that guard.
And
we had some coaches up here.
I was worried.
We had some coaches up here saying, make sure it stays out. We have quite a bit of nervous commentary from the peanut gallery.
For me too. I was concerned.
So that puts the score as 2-1. Fowler from Alaska over Lindgren from North Dakota.
Alexis Schroeder just threw a guard, but it kind of overcurled, so I think she still left Shelby Sweet a shot here.
We can't really tell from our angle here who is or how much they're actually counting, because there is a red in the top of the 4-foot, potentially even touching the button.
I think it's at least 2. That the stone on the right, I feel like, is also pretty definitely counting. And while I know that guard doesn't cover much more, I think she doesn't. I don't think she'll be able to throw the weight to move 3 stones there.
Right. I think she's probably gonna have to throw something like a controller or hack weight, try to pop at least one of those yellow rocks out.
And I don't even know how much good that's gonna do her, because she does have to move. It's probably gonna be the back stone that she'll be able to move.
Very true.
It's a tough shot here.
So back on our featured sheet, our lead Ariel Traxler draws one into the side, top 8, and immediately Abigail Lindgren calls for Madeline Schaff to just take it out and keep it clean.
So Shelby Sweet's last shot takes the guard there on sheet 3. So we're going to let them tell us how many it is. We know it's 1 yellow at least.
Well, they're kicking the rocks, and we'll see the score as soon as they put it up. We'll let you know.
Did you make contact with those stones? I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, it was didn't quite change anything.
Oh, just
On
one.
sheet 1, Miranda Solo made a really nice draw to take 1 in the third, and now leads that game over Brecky 3-1 after 3 ends.
That is the USCA high performance team over the Washington team.
Nice,
And on sheet 3, it was only 1 to begin with before the last rock. So winds up being just a 3-2 lead right now for Sweet from Washington. Brecky is actually from North Dakota. I have that wrong. Sorry. They did play last night when I was broadcasting, and I think that's probably why I had them a little mixed up.
Yeah, as I was talking about earlier, that was a fantastic game. Sweet came back from a deficit that you generally call insurmountable. Didn't quite win it in the extra, but bringing it to an extra down 6 with 3 to play is very impressive.
There were definitely huge momentum swings that wound up in 2 teams, a really tight one to go into an extra end. So over on our feature sheet, trading hits. Now we have one half in the 12-foot on the side, and Fowler without hammer, just making sure that that Lindgren just doesn't have anything sitting around to be second counter.
That's a nice shot.
It's a very nice shot. It's much harder to trade hits out here on the south side and stay in the house.
And you can go after it, and very makeable,
But yes, I think it's going to be hard to stick around, or harder to stick around in the same spot. So
yeah, they're not looking to stick around the same spot. They're going to try to roll it in. Looks like they're on it immediately though for line.
looks like
Probably
it's
gonna
a
get
good.
it, but not sure.
Good
Nope,
shot.
They are going to get the roll. Wow, that some strong sweeping from the North Dakota side. Or sorry,
Yeah,
it was the North Dakota side. Hey, I got one right.
Cora Farrell now attempting the trade hits. This one looks like it's going to
Also
overcurl.
curling hard.
Just misses.
Too bad.
I think part of the difference there is just a little bit of difference in weight, maybe, and just takes off a little bit harder towards that outside.
Also may have had a slightly tighter broom, which so perhaps that extra weight was intended for.
So now we have Abigail calling for the split house, and that's definitely a great made shot, splitting about as far as possible and just about as even as possible.
Yes, they're set up nicely for their 2 right now. A lot of stones to play, but
Yes, if things just wind up being trading hits on one side of the house, that should be 2. But we've already seen that it's hard to trade hits.
they're on it immediately again.
It's almost like it just left out of her hand.
Yeah, I think they're going to get this one, but they will spell. And Lindgren's bound to split the house again.
Yeah, she immediately goes to that call.
little heavy, but I think it's going to stick around.
Yeah, when you have hammer here, a stone back there is actually pretty valuable as well.
And it doesn't make that double much more possible.
They're split so far away that it's
certainly possible.
Certainly difficult, though.
Not very likely. Not very likely.
Caitlin Fowler continuing to go with the inside out hit, but now on the higher stone on the other side.
Well, she will try to roll over towards that other one.
Just
not quite get the double though.
Yeah, just a little thinner than necessary to get to stay in the house or go for the double.
Yeah.
But I think she was being cautious for the overcurl that they've seen on the other side as well, going inside out. Catherine Sigurdsson, with her second rock, is able to successfully keep the house split for the Lindgren rink from North Dakota.
About as split as the house can get.
It's always key to be able to make those draw shots. You got a lot of house to work with, but it can still be a bit of pressure to make sure you keep that house split for those deuces.
Fowler is not throwing a hit here. Looks like she is trying to draw in behind, which I mean, if she can really bury it, that's a great shot. But if she leaves it open, she's still pretty far out there. And if she leaves that open, that's you're setting up for a 3. Which
3 or worse here is not what you're looking for sure.
Yeah, North Dakota's going to hit, no hesitation. See if they can make this 3.
Yeah, that stone is completely exposed.
Over on sheet 4, Sarah Anderson was trying for a double, but she ticked the guard. So Corey Christensen has 2 rocks in the forefoot that she's going to try to guard, which will leave Sarah Anderson a tough last shot.
So the hit hits a little thin, and will roll over and looks like it might remove, but we can't really tell from our advantage point here whether that's a biter or not.
Looks like from the overhead that is off the rings. I was surprised how much weight they were throwing at that one. And they did get an awful lot of roll.
Yeah, it seems a little bit safer to throw a little down weight just to make sure you stick in the house, as long as you get a piece of that yellow rock.
Yeah, I understand looking for a roll there just to keep them separated. But it did seem like rather a lot.
Corey Christensen just put one on the top 8 Sarah Anderson's trying to figure out what to do against 3 with her hammer shot.
Yeah, that's one on the button, one just next to it in the 4-foot, and then the one right above it in the 8-foot. So it's not looking like an easy situation to figure out right now for Sarah Anderson.
Her best bet's to try to get 2 and just
Yeah,
the 1.
yeah. I think she runs that red straight back and tries to get 2 of those out.
So Caitlin Fowler's rock comes a little deep. Can't really see from here whether or not that's out counting that back red. It certainly looks like the top red is out counting, so it's at least 1 red.
Yeah, I think that is 1 red.
I think regardless,
Right. But yes.
I think North Dakota agrees that it's just 1 and is going to go after this back yellow for 3.
Yeah, it doesn't much matter where that is since Lindgren is going to throw to take it out.
And you throw a biter bar around there just to make sure you have, these teams haven't seen these rings, just to see if it's 4 if they make this shot.
Yeah, in a tournament like this, the officials do try to give the teams the officials will go out and measure it ahead of time and try to give the teams an idea of how accurate the rings are. But if something that's that close, you're going to swing a biter bar at it anyway, even if they say the rings are accurate.
I may have helped paint them, so I think they're accurate, but don't go by my word. Measure it yourself.
We don't doubt your work, Adam, but
So Sarah Anderson over on sheet 4 from Pennsylvania hits the top one, picks 1 rock off, but that leaves a steal of 2 for Corey Christensen. So at the end of 4, it's now 3-2 for Minnesota over Pennsylvania.
So back on our featured sheet, it looks like they were able to make the hit but roll away, and I think even ticked that back red that was close to being a biter to make sure that was not even close to be a biter. So that's definitely 2. So that's Lindgren from North Dakota leading 3-2 over Fowler from Alaska.
And on sheet 3, Shelby Sweet of Washington with her first rock is trying to draw over to the side on top of a yellow that's currently shot.
Right, if she's able to make a tap here, then she would be able to sit 2. And this is her first rock with hammer.
and she is coming in with the weight for that, but I don't think she has the line.
No, it's going right by. It's going to go right out the back and all the way out of play. Or just in play, but outside the house. Not very usable stone at the moment.
So Schroeder's still sitting 1. Looks like she's going to put up a guard.
This could be a really nice shot here. Oh, that she is. She's going to make it.
So it looks like for our game here, the featured game, we're going to have our first close to center guard by the team without hammer to really try to set up the steal. I think we've either had a couple rocks come in a little deep or over curl just a little bit. So I think the lead and the skip have kind of finally gotten in coordination to get this figured out, get that aggressive strategy in order.
So over on sheet 1, Miranda Solom is throwing her last shot without the hammer. She's got one in the 4-foot just behind the tee. It looks to me like she's trying to throw a guard.
Right, with Emily Brecky sitting with second rock after her first, that it's a very key guard to make for Solom at the moment.
Yeah, Brecky did a good job of clearing out the guards in front of Solom's counter, but with a nice guard. Oh no!
Solom, it looks like she's throwing hit weight. And there's some little bit of concerned reaction from the coach. And she's by the guard, and she makes a beautiful shot. So everybody upstairs was wrong. But,
well,
the wide open shot in the middle. So
she is
safe.
She's sitting 3 now, but it is open for a hit by Brecky, which could give Brecky 1. Had Solon put up a nice guard there, they probably would have stolen 1. I tend to agree with the coaches up here that the guard was the shot.
Yeah, easier said than done to place a good guard on this ice, though. And she's in control. Scoreboard says, I like now that she made it. I thought it was a tough call. Now that she made it.
So back on our feature sheet, the Fowler Rinks lead rock by Ariel Traxler was left or was not affected by Madeline Schaff's second rock, so they're going to try. They guard it successfully in the corner.
And Emily Brecky makes the hit and roll over to take one on sheet 1.
So that score now is Solom 3, Brecky 2. Solom of USCA Challenge or High Performance Camp, and Brecky of North Dakota. Now the other North Dakota team on our feature sheet looks like is trying a draw down to the counting yellow rock behind the corner guard. It's like the weight is all there for sure. Second trying to help influence the call a little bit and let them know that it's heavy or good weight.
You're going to get right to that edge.
A little bit too much of a bounce, though.
Yeah, you can bounce right out into the open. And unfortunately, didn't even really open up the yellow. It's
Right.
still at least half covered and on the outside, which is the tough way to go at it.
Right, there's definitely a sliver, but it's a sliver that if you hit it, you're probably rolling out and not getting behind cover.
And Fowler looks right on this one. Gonna roll under the guard. A little too much, actually, but still a nice shot.
Well, so with hammer, that's not bad at all right now. So Emily Lindgren throwing against her or with her, I believe, sister's broom. Makes a nice, just inside a nose hit. Doesn't quite get the full roll.
And Fowler's going to come after that.
Definitely. Looks like a little bit more down weight just to try to sneak it by that guard and get a nice little roll, but it's coming too
Pretty
close
tight.
to that guard, yeah. Definitely opens it up, which is not a bad result with hammer.
So on sheet 3, the Schroeder team has tied the score after 4, so it's 3-3.
So it would be 2 steals of 1 in a row to even that matchup.
Yeah, got some.
Sorry, go ahead.
Got some really good games going on. Heading into the 5th.
So back on the feature sheet, Abigail Lindgren wanting the hit with her initial call, but being convinced otherwise to kind of try to split the house behind the corner guard and really eliminate the power of that corner guard, but drawing through was Emily Lindgren's stone, so it doesn't really change much and actually leaves the Fowler rink a shot to sit to split in the house.
Yeah, that outside takeout is definitely a hard shot, but
I think I agree with the call that they wound up with, just didn't quite execute it as perfectly as they needed it to be.
Again, Fowler's on these takeouts right away.
This one's over curling quite a bit.
I'm not sure she's given her team enough room.
Yeah, those inside outs will curl a lot on this ice if you don't
Yeah.
really give it.
And
Yeah,
it seems like she's consistently giving less ice than the Lindgren side.
Yeah, you need a good handle, good strong handle with no turn in, and the right weight for the ice given, and it's not always easy. So it's the same call right now for the Lindgren rink. Try to draw around that guard. I think the weight has certainly been adjusted for the Vice here.
I guess this looks much more like what she was looking for.
Yeah, Sigurdsson with a much better weight. Looks like he's going to count second
Nails
rock.
that shot.
Yeah.
It's a little exposed, but Fowler's going to go for the open one.
That's a lot more weight than the first rock here by Naomi Schomer.
She'll get there. She's probably gonna roll out though, because she did throw an awful lot of weight.
Yeah, just looking at the slide out, that was definitely a lot more. So all the games so far are pretty close going into this fifth end. So it looks like we're going to have some good games coming out of the break, as long as things don't change too much from how they are now.
Did you see what they're indicating here? What
I
they're
believe
looking
it's
for?
another split.
Okay.
I mean, the ice certainly
Yeah.
looks
Okay.
like that.
Yeah. I think tightening up that broom there made sense.
Yeah, if you want to get those as far apart as possible, but still counting two.
On it right away. Looks like for weight.
Certainly for weight, definitely not for line.
Right. Yeah. There's not a lot of line there, but
It looks like it's going to be just about a center guard instead, actually, which could have been the call, but looked like the broom was more for the draw. So we could be misinterpreting what the call was by kind of taking the survey of the different sheets here. But that's definitely a good result if you're trying to steal here.
it looks like Fowler's going to come right around.
Over on sheet 4, Corey Christensen's putting the heat on Sarah Anderson again. She's got, looks like 2 rocks counting, and she just threw a nice guard. So Sarah Anderson's going to have to look to either peel with her first rock or play a tap up on an outside yellow.
Yeah, I'd be looking at the angle raise myself, but
So that's a great weight on our featured sheet. Just over curls past the center guard, leaving Abigail Lindgren with some kind of hit, whatever kind of weight she wants to throw to get the right result that she's looking for.
yeah, she can throw just about whatever weight she likes. That's
That looks like a back line or hack weight maybe. Something
yeah,
to get
that's
them-
a down weight. That's
Yeah.
definitely a down weight.
Definitely. but something to get maybe to nose or a little inside of nose to get behind that center guard completely buried. It's a little more weight, I think, than what they were calling. It's the sweepers letting the vice know, and it's
They'll get there, but
gonna get to the stone for sure. Yeah, but is it
not enough to
move
clear it.
Ooh.
They might. No,
No, that
it's
leaves
still
yellow
counting.
sitting one. Yes. So with Fowler now with a shot for 2 going into the break.
Yeah, I think that might have just been too much ice. They're worried about that. The guard, perhaps, because as you said, it was the broom looked like it was for a real down weight, and that was maybe control, but that was a broom for hack.
Sheet 4, Sarah Anderson did go for the angle raise, and it just overcurled, so she knows it straight through. Basically, no change in the situation. Allowing Christensen to try to put up probably another guard.
All right, Fowler shot away. The sweeper's not touching it, so it's not really up to them anymore. It looks like just hoping that it will stop somewhere full 8. Instead, it looks like we're going to have a tie game because the draw goes a little deep. Going into the 5th end break over on sheet 2. So we'll definitely update you as the other games finish their 5th end.
Over here on sheet 3, Alexis Schroeder is trying to throw a draw against 2 red with her first rock. She has the hammer. No, she does not have the hammer in the set. This is her first rock.
Sponsors.
Yeah, well, we can wait till the break.
I mean, our featured sheet's already in break.
Do you want to go through the sponsors real quick now that our featured game is in break?
So here we are in the 5th end break, at least on one of our games, and I want to try to keep you up to date on the scores of the others, and remember to mention our sponsors. But we've got a shot away from Brecky on sheet 1 against 3 yellow.
This is her first rock. She's trying the, I believe, one of the 2 doubles that are available to her. She will get one of them and roll out of the house, leaving yellow sitting 1, but definitely a good result of doing some cleanup with her first skip rock.
And one of those 2 that she was doubling off, I don't think she was getting to if she, other than through that double. So the one that's left is wide open. So
Sarah Anderson is throwing her hammer shot. She's got a very tough draw, basically to cut Christensen down to 1, I think. I don't see how she gets shot out of this.
She's taking a ton of room all the way down to the boards over on sheet 4, so it's
yeah, best she can do here is get a piece of the 4-foot, which would cut Minnesota Christensen down to 1, and even that's not an easy shot.
I believe we're now currently showing the house on sheet 3, and you can see that looks like we have Sweet counting 1 in the back of the 4 with a coach's timeout called by the Sweet rink from Washington.
And Sarah Anderson gets a little tick off the front red, but I think she still made the shot in that she did cut them down to 1. So if I'm right about that, then that game between Christensen and Anderson, they're posting the score now. Yes, it is 4-2 for Christensen after 5.
So that is Minnesota Christensen at 4, and Anderson from Pennsylvania at 2.
So on sheet 3, Shelby Sweet's coming down with her first stone.
After the coach's timeout, looks like they're, I believe, throwing a guard here on the buried 1 rock. It's either that or a draw. The broom could be used for either. We were just looking over at 4 when this call was made, so if you have better insight, I'm sure you've seen the call.
I imagine it's a guard, just because I don't think they want to put another thing behind that yellow.
Well, they want certainly something in front. It looks like
Right.
They're signaling for something that's going to take away the angle at the yellow to raise it, or the draw,
Well, I
and
think
then
where they were indicating would be guarding against the draw.
I
Looks
think
like
what-
they're going to guard against the hit one way. Or
I think
another.
I think with the way it
The-
curls that you might be able to get a little bit of both and hope that you can tap with the second rock. But this is certainly just guarding the yellow stone and any sort of raise or tap on that side.
Yeah, covering the raise, which at least for me would be my shot for the other side. So
Certainly the
I
one-
like that guard.
Certainly the one that you don't want to see the other team make out of the 2 shots that are available there. And so they're going to go all the way out to past the edge of the 12 for the curl on the draw here.
Oh, with that.
That white broom, though, in the middle of the white has got to be a little tough to see.
Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves as a curler, when people don't have nice, bright heads on their brooms.
Well, that's as bright as you can get, but unfortunately it's white.
Wrong color, orange.
There's a whole lot of white out there already. So
Oh, this looks pretty close to the guard. It's going to tick.
They're gonna on the-
Schroeder's
they're on the
shot
guard.
is not going to make it.
That potentially leaves a shot for Sweet to try and draw there, but which way do you go, and where do you put the broom? That's the tough call right now. If it's curling that much, looks like they're going the other way, I think, which is the right call. They're not going to hit that yellow up or raise that yellow up going this way, the way it's curling. So that's, I think, her best opportunity.
It's definitely the safer shot. This just takes any chance of a tap out of play.
When you saw how much that curled just from all the way out past the 12-foot,
Yeah, they're calling a lot less ice going. They're calling a lot less ice going this way, which I think it probably means they're seeing a little bit of a run out there.
right, it might just be curling a little bit more towards the sheet 4 side, which you may
Right.
not be able to see on your camera view, but that is, they are now
It's
curling.
definitely substantially less ice than they were throwing
Right.
going the other way.
Yeah, they're definitely curling from the sheet 3 down to the sheet 2 side. From our perspective here, and they're sweeping it nice and hard, and it is curling. But if they can just, well, it's gonna overcurl here. So they still didn't take enough ice. So it's a little more even curl than they were expecting from side to side.
So let me take a minute now that we're just about at the 5th end break for all of our games. We had, I believe, what happened on sheet 1? What is that?
Well, they're about to hang the score
yeah,
here.
two more for Miranda Solom. So she's now got a pretty commanding lead, up 5-2.
Yes.
And the featured game's coming back on, but before we do that, let's thank our sponsors one more time. Dunkin' Donuts of Lexington. They have 2 fine shops in Lexington, and they have been supplying coffee and a lot of food, keeping people awake and happy all week long. Whole Foods of Wayland, that's on Route 20 in Wayland, provided all of the food for the Day 1 banquets for the players and spectators. And Brooms Up Curling Supplies, who are sponsor of this event and a sponsor of the USCA. So thank you to our sponsors.
So the score update after that sheet 3 result is 4-3 in favor of Sweet from Washington over Schroeder from Michigan. And now we are back in play on our feature sheet with a center guard by yellow. It looks like the teams are looking at the clock and making sure that it's running properly. And now we're seeing a little bit of delay. We can't see the timing from our vantage point. Looks like one of our on-ice officials is going off to make sure that everything is running as well as it should. And over on sheet 4, we're actually also back in play, which is a very quick fifth end break, it seems like. But they're definitely back in action. What just happened? They took the center guard away.
Well, I wonder if she didn't throw it before the minute was up. You know what? Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, so it may be that we see a timing issue on sheet 2, our featured sheet here, where the guard was thrown too early before the fifth end break was over. I do not have the information up here, so we'll hopefully find out.
How do you know that?
You gonna go find out for sure?
I guess so, yeah.
Because you're an official sheet.
The coach is gone.
Okay. So we'll find out what exactly happened, but the suspicion up here from our official and from some of the coaches is that yellow stone was thrown before the fifth end break was actually over. So now we have Lindgren's team throwing in with hammer. I think aiming for something a little higher, but it's going to force a little bit more of a conservative play from Fowler for sure. It's going to be a nice hit and spill, keeping things pretty clean coming out of the break. It's unfortunate if that was the result of a timing issue, because that was a really nice center guard to come out of the break with. I believe what happened here is that, and we haven't gotten an update, but that yellow threw their stone before the break was up, so they had to pull it. They had a nice center guard, and then it was before the time was done for the fifth end break. So now they're in a more conservative style. This red stone went in. Oh, so that's gonna stay a little inside of that stone and leave North Dakota with in control of this end to split. And all the other sheets are getting close to starting here. Sheet 4 already underway. Sheets 3 and 1 are getting prepared. Our Master Iceman Greg Eisenhower out there with some help from the USCA. I don't actually have their names on hand, but they're fantastic icemen. Came out here and started work last Wednesday on flooding the ice and getting it all ready for this event. And before we go too farther, David Stavateg and Rudy Bloomquist are the two icemen that you see out there, actually, that helped out with preparing this ice. And before we get too much farther, the on-ice officials for this draw are Marty Kelly, Gwen Cralo, and Karen Can, who I believe is the on-ice supervisor for this event, or this draw. So I think they're doing a fantastic job so far. We haven't seen them have to make any measurements yet.
Well, we did just see a stone pulled from the featured sheet here, so
yes,
officials getting involved.
Definitely.
Not the way they wanted to, I'm sure.
I don't know if that came from in the warm room or on the ice. Who called that? But we'll get you updates as to that situation as we can get them.
I doubt the officials will be talking, but
But that is our suspicion as to what exactly happened. There are a lot of time limits, a lot of timing going on in these play down events, national events. I've played in a play down event. I know Ben, you've played in multiples,
yes.
And you got to watch those clocks because it's constantly meaning something different.
Yeah. The suspicion here is that they threw it before the fifth end break had completely ended, which was a disadvantage to the other team because then their clock would be running.
But you do want to run. You do have a time limit or a time like a minute or so between when the fifth end break ends and when you really
and when you have to
throw. So you want to throw it in that time limit.
By have to, we mean your time starts.
Right. So you want to throw it before your time starts, so you have you have the advantage going into that break or coming out of that break that you're not wasting any of your time.
You get a little excited, but
they said she went over the hog line, but she doesn't slide that far, so I wanted to check the handle to make sure that she either didn't set it or it was a false positive deal.
So we're hearing that was actually not a timing issue, but more of a called hog line violation.
They're checking that out right now.
So they're going to check the handle and make sure that that's accurately censored up. So all that talk about timing is still valid. However, this looks like more of a handle issue.
Okay.
That was the Alaska coach giving us that information. Yeah,
I don't know the rule there.
We're not sure of actually like what happens when you release before your allotted time.
Not an issue I've ever run into before.
Right, it's usually not a problem because the people are watching and the officials are watching.
The officials will tell you exactly when you can throw.
So this makes a little more sense. I did not see the red lights going on the stone when it came down, but certainly the officials saw something.
Alaska Stone is staying out in the open. Nice weight, but don't know if that was necessarily what they were looking for.
Leaves a pretty nice hit and roll opportunity for North Dakota.
It's pretty far out. Yeah, that's hanging a lot.
I think it's going to come just down to that stone and just roll all the way out. It's a lot of close games so far. The biggest lead we have right now is just by 3. We have a 1, a 2, and a tie. So all the variations between a tie game and a 3-point game.
We're getting to that time in the week where you're not going to see as many blowouts. Teams are starting to play teams close to their own seed, and
certainly with the multiple practices and the multiple games get used to this ice and the stones.
But it means we're going to have some really good games coming up, and I mean we certainly have them going on now.
Now with that hit and roll out, Caitlin Fowler is trying to draw behind that corner guard, but it's looks just a little short. Just leaves basically like a double wide corner guard. And over on sheet 4, we have our first skips rock for the other sheet that started first out of the fifth end break. And that is Christensen throwing a draw against 2 around guards.
Not going to be able to get...
Anderson's got an end shaping up here.
So this is Christensen without hammer, with her own center guards up there, drawing against 2 behind those cards. And it's going to wind up...
Go ahead.
It's going to wind up being second rock.
She wasn't going to get 1 there, but that's they're not going to be able to do much about the stone where it is now. It's going to Gonna stay there. Yeah.
Anderson to take 2.
I'd
like to get 2 here.
Right. It's the number 1 Christensen stone is on the button, which is about half on the button on the top.
That's Anderson stone.
Sorry, Anderson. Sorry, Christensen being just outside the forefoot, on top of a little bit angled out to the top of that stone, potentially exposed for a low weight hit, which is what they're looking at.
Looks like the call, yeah.
But there is certainly the danger of any sort of jam on that button stone if it hangs out wide at all. So back on our feature sheet, we wind up with a red stone in the back of the house, and from the looks of it, Caitlin Fowler is looking to freeze on this stone to force 1.
Been there a million times.
This is a little bit more aggressive call than just the straight hit.
Looking pretty good.
It's diving over pretty hard.
Gotta stay on it.
It's going to be counting 1. Just perfectly on top of that back red stone, but quite a bit of distance.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity to take out for 2 here.
So Sarah Anderson's first stone on sheet 4 winds up ticking the guard, the center guard, and leaving Christensen with an opportunity to raise her first rock to potentially set up for a steal.
There's a pretty tight hole they're going to have to come through to get that raise, though. Certainly be a difficult shot, especially to have to do it with enough weight to carry the yellow deep.
Yeah, there's currently a debate between her vice and herself to really figure out what the right shot to call is there. And back on our feature sheet, Abigail Lindgren's shot is coming in pretty nicely for the hit. Looks like if it does make contact, which it will roll out and just be for 1. So
that's unfortunate, yeah.
It's definitely unfortunate. Caitlin Fowler's attempt for the force winds up working, but not the way she designed it. So that now is a 4-3 game in favor of Abigail Lindgren from North Dakota over Caitlin Fowler from Alaska.
On sheet 3, Alexis Schroeder is throwing her first rock with a hammer. She's going to try a hit and stick on a center red. There's one more red in the back of the house, so
it's a little nasty little biter in the back of the 12. Not something that's easy to get rid of with a lot of different shots involving any of the stones in the house. So overcurling quite more than they expected, and it's going to completely miss the stone. So now Shelby Sweet has an opportunity to set up for a steal. So over on sheet 4, Christensen elected to go with the guard, guarding her second counting rock to really cut down the chances for Sarah Anderson to take 2. Anderson has a draw around the other side for the 2 to touch the 4. So that's it's not the easiest shot, but certainly open. And back on our feature sheet, we're back underway. That lead rock. It's now in the back 12 instead of a guard. Just a little heavy.
So on sheet 4, Sarah Anderson with her hammer shot is trying to draw to the 4-foot for 1.
I did just update them on that.
It's really hard.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. Oh, I will. No, I'm not.
It's really hard.
I'll calm down. I'm sorry. It's all good.
Have fun.
So back on our feature sheet, that is a successful center guard by the Lindgren team. The Fowler is going to try to peel it with hammer. Fred's getting a little frustrated with me, like speaking over his stuff. So just let me know if I'm doing it.
No problem. He'll be back.
I hope so. And over on sheet 4, the Anderson shot came a little short, so she just took her 1. And that is now a 4-3 lead for Christensen over Anderson.
So it looks like Brecky is throwing an angle raise, potentially for 1, but it's very long.
It's kind of hanging out a little bit.
Yes, it is. And yeah, that's going to be 1 for Solom.
And that changes that score to 6-2 in favor of the Solom rink.
Another good game for the high performance team.
So without hammer, the Lindgren rink is trying to take out one of these side yellows and roll in.
It's a little thin. Take their own, but I think that gives them the counter. It's awfully close.
Yeah, from our perspective, it looks like it's definitely the counter, but the cameras are showing a different story.
And we will try to keep you updated on all these games. I know you almost be at the edge of your seats all over. There are really close games going on in this draw.
Just a tick.
See if they can't pull it behind a little. Now that's pretty open.
Does leave the jam or the double as an opportunity.
Yeah, I think the double must be the called shot here, because I don't think with that ice they'd be able to roll underneath.
Certainly the weight looks like it's for the double out of the hand.
Yeah, in fact, it's probably more than they need. But it's looking. Yeah, it just hung a little too much. That can definitely happen to you when you start thinking about the fact that you're throwing a double. You overthrow it a little. That's why a lot of skips won't even tell you. They'll tell you just taking out one, but they'll be calling it for the double the whole way.
Same time, sometimes the same for a tap. This draw looks pretty close too. But it's gonna do the same or have the same result. But
So
will
we
not
still-
roll the house.
Still don't know who the counter is here. Those two stones are awful close. Super's on it immediately. I think this must be light. Yeah, it looks like they're going to come up with about a mid guard. Not what they were looking for.
Yeah, it certainly leaves North Dakota with without hammer a chance to draw behind some essentially unremovable rocks with those offset guards and only skips rocks left to go.
Yeah, this looks like another draw, and they're going to see if they can get around the guard this time. They seen the line a couple times now, so it looks like they might be giving it a little more room to curl. And this one is hanging. Looks like they're sweeping it for a raise. Over curling a little bit for that.
It does block the draw angle on that side.
Yeah. We'll see.
And any access at what may be the counting stone. We really just
Yeah,
don't know.
we. I have to feel like the fact that Fowler hasn't well, earlier when it was available, it didn't really look at that hitting that red stone means I feel like she must be confident she's counting. Just seeing if I can get any sort of hint from their play style who's counting here, because it
Yeah, that's all the hint
makes a
we're gonna
lot of
get.
difference in this end.
Still not quite to Skip's rocks on the other sheets. We'll update you as we see the situations develop.
Fowler's really got to work to get that around. They do get the guard.
Looks like North Dakota is looking to raise.
Yeah, that must be a raise. I would think she would be raising the inside red. That would be my call. However, that seems like a lot of ice to me.
They have been seeing a lot of curl, though. It's
they have, and especially, yeah, they've
very tough to know.
They have thrown that line a couple times, but I feel like that's just about the same line they called on their draws, and they tightened it up a little bit. All right. It's definitely the tap.
And all I need is just touching 8 foot, really.
Yeah, it just hung on them again. As I thought that was a little more ice than they needed.
It's
but
like a point of no return out there.
Yeah, it's tough because they did see those couple on that same line over curl, so get a little skittish around it, but yeah, just unfortunate. Looks like Fowler's probably throwing a tap as well here. See if she can get 2. I think she probably feels like she's counting on the side, but we will find out.
Seems like a bit of a panic here, trying to make sure that it has enough weight.
It certainly has the weight. It's a very nice shot.
Or maybe they were afraid it was going to overcurl there at the last second.
Yeah, that if they'd gotten too much of that stone, they would have carried straight through. We'll see what they hang here.
Yeah.
Just the one. Okay, so the red stone was closer. I was wrong.
They must have been ignoring that back stone with hammer.
Yeah. I guess so.
It's a very tight game. Yeah, we're all tied up at 4. And we are getting down to Skip's rocks on the other sheets.
Christensen looked like they're throwing a
raise
angle. No, it's a angle takeout, raise takeout. Hanging out a little wide, but I think they have it. Okay, they're gonna jam, but they leave themselves counting at least 1. A little hard to tell from our angle, but at least 1.
Yeah, one or 2, but looks like 1.
And another Skip's rocks. Solom throwing down at 2. Makes a nice double to get one red out. Unfortunately, the other one was just about frozen, and they did leave Brecky counting 1.
That was Solom's first rock, so does leave her with a chance to change things again.
Brecky is going to try to block that hole, however.
Back on our feature sheet, we have the center guard from the team without hammer. That would be Fowler from Alaska. And now an attempt to come around by North Dakota. A little deep, hangs out a little bit.
And Fowler's going to take that right out.
It's close. It's definitely close enough and late enough that it's still good. Good strategy. Keep it a little clean.
Absolutely. That's lots of broom. I wonder if they're coming. Maybe a control. No, that looks like they're coming out full normal. Line's tight. Sweeping hard for line. Oh, nope.
They're giving up on the A shot.
They're just gonna clear the guard. Get a corner and you put one on, so they can live with that.
So over on sheet 4, Christensen's currently sitting potentially 1 or 2, but does have a hit on the second or third rock of yellow to take quite a big number. Looks like 6.
Yes, take out and stay for 6 over on sheet 4. On it right away, but I think she's probably all right there. Nails it nose, and that looks like a 6.
Yeah, so shaking on sheet 4. Down by 7. Anderson with
that's understandable.
3 inches to go.
So that's a 10-3 final on sheet 4. Team Christensen stays undefeated. Anderson gets their first loss, but still in good shape to make the playoff round.
So on our feature sheet, Lindgren using the yellow corner guard after the hit on or the missed takeout to try and sit 2. Pretty well buried for the first rock.
Reachable, but no, Fowler's just going to clear the guard.
Maybe a run back on it?
I wouldn't think so, but yeah, I think this is just a straight peel. Just because I don't think you'd risk leaving the guard up there.
It's a fair point.
Stole one.
Update from sheet 1. Looks like the Solom Rink stole for the second straight end. And they're now leading 7-2. North Dakota puts a third rock in play. They're sitting 3. Without the hammer or any guards, probably not going to stay there, but it definitely will force Fowler to take 1 if it stays like this. Oh, and she turns that one in pretty pretty hard. They're going to have to work hard to get anything here.
Yeah, well, with Lindgren actually having the hammer, this is not looking
Oh,
ideal.
sorry. I was mistaken there. You are absolutely correct.
Has a little bit of damage control, but Lindgren is sitting pretty well.
Definitely. That changes that end. Knowing who has hammer. I guess that's probably why I assumed they had hammer, because why would you feel on that guard otherwise?
The better option is to draw a freezing the other one behind the guard. I don't get it. I saw Michigan doing that earlier too. Oh yeah, but in a tie game. Oh, you're talking. Yeah, I'm talking about this. Yeah, big lead. Keep it very clean. That makes sense.
Fowler. I really want to see if they can find a double somewhere here. I think that's not going to get one there. I think they're going to get nose here, which imagine Lindgren takes right back here. And looking strong for a couple points here.
Looks like they're going to get a little bit of a roll.
I think they're just about nose.
Just about perfect.
Fowler with another hit. Double's more possible here, but I imagine that must be the shot here.
At least that, if not a hit and roll over.
Yeah, it could. The hit and roll over makes sense because they are going to have a hard time clearing all these reds.
And immediately
They're
out of
on
the
it
hand.
hard. Yeah, I think they're going to have to look at the other side here. And cross the face and roll to the outside.
Well, that's a nice
That's
double
a nice
right
double.
there.
No, absolutely. Pretty sure that wasn't what they were looking for, but you know,
Doesn't have to be pretty and doesn't have to be what you called.
sometimes you take what you get. With those two just about even, Fowler, I don't think there's a double here for Fowler. And if I were to take out one or the other, I wouldn't choose that one because of the jam risk.
It's also not even the counter. Even if you hit it
Well-
out, there's no chance of sitting one unless you get the roll, but the roll is all over the jam.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just take. I think they're just taking one of these out to let them have two. I don't think you can really stop them getting two here. But if you throw at the stone on the right, you do risk a jam and potentially three. Two you can live with here. Three is going to be a serious problem with two ends to play. On it right away. I think they have it. Gonna roll out and leave Lindgren with an open draw for two. Just gotta get 8 foot. Lindgren's final draw coming down. They seem unconcerned. And that's pretty easy too.
That puts the game at 6-4 in favor of Lindgren over Fowler going into the ninth end. Want to update 3? This is Schroeder's last rock with out hammer against 3. All looking good.
Yeah, so sheet 3 update. Alexis Schroeder is they're having coach's timeout right now. And Sweet's like 3 top 12. She's trying to figure out how to get one in there. Throw around the outside, I would think. She's got the lead, but she does not have the hammer. So this would be this is a key shot in the game.
Yeah, she definitely needs to. I mean, she needs to try to count, and needs to be somewhere covered. It's going to be awful tough on either side.
I'd come around the right side if there's a little more room there.
There's more room, but it's also you can see the potential for a run back there. You're a little more protected on the left side.
She's not playing either, though. She's playing the angle raised tap.
I don't think so either. She'll probably cut Sweet down to 1 if she makes it.
Yeah, the comment was that she couldn't count after that.
Right. She would. I don't think she would count.
Yeah, I don't get this call. When she makes this shot, Sweet's got to drop for 2.
I mean, if they don't feel secure in really covering it, then this shot makes sense. Really hard.
Well, that didn't work because now she tapped one in, and Sweet's got to draw for 4.
Yeah, that's a big miss, unfortunately. Just got a little too outside.
So back on our feature sheet, we have 3 corner guards now, with the Fowler rink drawing behind their opponent's corner guard.
A little heavy. Putting it in back.
It's going to be ignored by North Dakota and try and come around the other one.
North Dakota looking to get control of the 4-foot here.
Nice shot for Emily Brecky on sheet 1, picking a yellow rock off the 4-foot, but she's not, doesn't have any rocks in the house, so Miranda Solom can still draw one in.
So the draw on our feature sheet here comes to the right weight. It's a very good spot, except for that it's not quite covered by the guards.
Yeah, just need another foot of curl, and that would be a really beautiful shot. As it is, Fowler will take that out.
It looks like Sweet gets 3 on sheet 3. Her last shot tapped the red rock all the way through, so that will make the score 7-5 for Washington. Sweet.
Still a close game.
Yeah, still a close game after
The four would have been really large.
So this looks like quite a bit down weight, and not even a hit more than a freeze, but it's going to wreck
the guard. And I imagine Lindgren's going to just cover that right up.
Yeah, she immediately
because
goes.
A steal for Lindgren here just about ices this game. It's going to be really hard to take 3, especially with the way North Dakota's hitting.
Miranda Solom just made a really nice draw on sheet 1.
Looks like it's probably, it's reachable. And we've seen the Brecky rink likes to hit.
But all they're going to be able to get out of this 8th end is 1 with hammer.
And they needed more than that.
Well, that's an effective guard, even with the little tap there, I think.
Yeah, it came up a little
Machine
heavier
or
than I
feature
think
sheet.
they wanted, but and the Fowler rink is going to use the timeout. I think. Ooh. Shot that jumps out to me is the red, yellow, red. Right in the middle.
Looks like they are shaking hands on sheet 1. So we have 2 undefeated teams now. Miranda Solom and Corey Christensen.
I believe they're not playing until the last draw of the round robins. So
Yeah, the top 2 seeds. So the seeds, at least at the top, are holding on the women's side. Don't count Sarah Anderson out.
Oh no. I mean,
They
there's
had one very bad end there in the 7th. And they weren't setting up ends in that game as well as they might have been.
yeah, but they're still in a good position to make the playoff round, as are several other teams. But that Solom Christensen game should definitely be one to watch. I mean, regardless of their records when they get there. They're both shooting fantastic.
Nobody would be surprised to see them in the final.
So on our featured sheet, the timeout is over. We haven't seen a call exactly as to what it is, because they probably just know what it is by the time they walk down the other end. It looks like some sort of peel of the center here.
I think this might be my my red, yellow, red. Try to catch the red. Oh yeah, try to catch the red just on. Just cross the face a little. Oh yeah, they're on it right away because they are already crossing the face. They're on the guard on the outside. Oh no, they held it pretty well, and they're gonna make.
Ooh,
wow,
what a beautiful shot!
There it is. There's the red, yellow, red.
Not quite the exact angle I think we were looking at, but that's actually really nice.
Yeah, they came real close on that, but I think that was held real well by their sweepers because they were on that the moment it came out of her hand.
Now it looks like a tap.
Yeah, they're gonna bump this red back, see if they can't get number one again.
It's hanging out to start.
Yeah, it's again. It looks like it's on that guard.
Fine balance.
Touch and can't quite roll it out of the way either, so it blocks that shot.
Caitlin now looking to block up any draw closer than her currently counting stone.
Yeah, she is sitting 2 now. And they I agree that they can't risk Lindgren burying anything, but I mean, even if they get just this 2, then they go home tied without the hammer. Oh, are they trying to? Oh boy, this is not so bad. They're gonna make their something like what their guard.
It's going to be hard to tap behind cover here because I think the way those reds are offset a little bit.
Yeah. That'd be really thin. There's not much of an angle there where you stay under cover.
Yeah, I think all you got is nose right now.
I feel like they were probably throwing the tap, but they're not getting the curl they expect. Just going to get the outside edge. They might have been better off. She was just going to try to cover up that bump.
I think the thrower and the sweeper's a little worried about weight to start.
Yeah, I mean their line is way out there. It was way out there the whole time though. I might have seen if I could have gotten a little more curl out of that. Because they just about got it to 3, so weight they weren't in danger of hogging.
Right, I think Caitlin was certainly very adamant in trying to get as much curl out of that as she could.
Yeah. But that does leave Lindgren still with the tap up, which if she can make nicely here, there's not going to be a whole lot Fowler can do.
Well, the sweeper's immediately showing that it might be a little heavy.
Yeah, it is hanging, so they might be able to find a tap there. Yeah. Oh, just doesn't quite get it. And it is exposed on the outside.
But it's not quite all the rock, and it does outcount the yellow on the other back 12. So not a terrible result for sure.
Yeah, it looks like Fowler still just wants to protect that forefoot. And probably see if she can clear that red later on. Because as I said before, a 3 would be really helpful here, because going home tied without the hammer there's a big difference between that and going back up 1.
Yeah, especially after having to take your 2 and struggle to get there in the end before. If you can get take the pressure off by, it's still a lot of pressure
right. You'll be playing the steal either way.
Right.
But to know that you can give up 1 and play an extra with the hammer,
certainly feels a lot better. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're feeling much more comfortable than knowing you're stealing or you're losing. That doesn't do much for the Fowler team. And I think Christensen's going to look at that bump again. It's harder than it was. It's harder than it was. But definitely still there. And I think that's what they're throwing.
But they are going the other way this time because of the change with the guards.
Yeah.
So it'll make it a lot
yeah,
tougher.
that definitely makes sense.
Shot seems to be definitely hanging out for the tap on the one they were looking at. And winds up really not changing much.
No, it doesn't. Fowler still sitting 1 and 3. I don't know what this shot is. Yes, I would be throwing to take out red. If you can hit and stick, you get 3.
Looks like she's just throwing through.
Throwing through. I don't understand that either. I guess it's fairly open. The risk, I guess, is that if you come at it with full weight and you clear your one, but that's why I wouldn't necessarily come with full weight. I might come with just a control weight that you know you can hold around there if you need to.
Yeah, again, given the scoreboard, taking one.
Right, taking one. I mean, yeah, you still only need to steal one here. But right, exactly.
Right, and even if you spill your shooter, you get your 2, and then you're at least tied,
Right.
which is still a better
Yeah.
situation.
Again, the risk is you could lose the game there if you over curled, but I mean, if you can get 3 there, you completely change the last end.
Absolutely.
Alexis Schroeder has a tough shot here on 3. It looks like she's going for a double to cut him to 1.
Doesn't look like double weight to me. And they're working hard to hold it on that line. And a roll, but yeah, it's still going to be 2 for Sweet. And that's a pretty, it's... Are they shaking?
Schroeder is looks like she's debating it a little bit. She's going to talk with her team first.
Down 4 with hammer. I'd throw a couple stones, see what the house looks like. Real tough though. As will Fowler.
Things have happened at junior nationals.
No doubt.
Well, the game last night with Sweet actually was one of those examples, even though it wasn't then all in the 10th end.
And Fowler doesn't have quite as far to go, but I'm sure North Dakota is going to be playing this one very clean.
So first attempt at the center guard overcurled a little bit, and then Lindgren threw up the corner guard to sit 2 corner guards. But now the second attempt at the center guard is coming in. Looks a little hot.
Yeah, you don't want to take any chance. Looks like they might be trying to pull this in.
Looked
That
like
surprises me a little.
Looked like it was in on its own a little bit, so may have just went with the B shot.
I certainly wouldn't have been coming in yet. So.
It's not easy to have patience, though, in a situation like this.
I guess not.
Throw this shot either if I was Lindgren. The lead in the hammer, I'd be feeling the guard.
Is that not still a free guard?
Yeah, that's still lead rock.
That's a free guard. What I'd say is I'd try to throw a takeout at the back one, and I mean maybe you wreck on the guard, but yeah, you don't want stones in play as Lindgren right now.
Yeah, where your B shot's to throw through or something that just basically gets nullified by taking out a free guard, that's not a bad result.
Yeah, they did a nice job getting that pretty much to nose though, so they can move that yellow stone at will once they clear the guard, which I'm sure will be the shot here. One of the guards at least. And North Dakota will clear the guard. And there's a potential for a double here.
Couple of doubles.
And now she's gone for the guard. I wish she just shot too early.
pretty good. Got to hold it outside.
Just the one.
And they didn't even roll all the way out of the way, but they rolled far enough. Fowler's going to try to put it back right where it was.
Yeah, the only problem with that shooter sticking around is that it makes less room for them to have to cover up.
He's a little wider than they'd like, but and North Dakota will come right in and hit.
It's hanging out a little bit wider than they initially expected, I think, but it's coming in pretty nice. Well, moves everything that was in the 4-foot out. That leaves the center set up for the Fowler ring.
Fowler's going to put up a guard. I like the longer one more. You know Lindgren's going to be clearing guards regardless. What you don't want to do is make it any easier for her to clear your counter as well.
Yeah, now with Fowler actually sitting one and nothing frozen to it.
Right. Fowler's just trying to block it up. Lindgren's going to be trying to open it up. But you don't want to make it any easier for Lindgren. She might get a little touch on the guard, which it doesn't change much. Still an opportunity for a low weight hit on the counter, but I think you probably clear the guards anyway.
Yeah, it makes it easier to get rid of all the yellows, though. Or harder, sorry, to get rid of all the yellows, not easier.
Yeah.
Freeze.
And here comes some serious weight from North Dakota. They're going to see if they can clear all three of these, the shooter and two yellow guards.
With the drag effect, it takes that back yellow guard out the other side.
Fowler's going to replace that guard. See if she can't.
Over on sheet 3, Schroeder's having a hard time generating offense. Sweet's cleared her guards, and now she's going for a hit. So it's hard for her to get the 4 she needs.
Definitely. Fowler's super hard, I imagine, for line, trying to hold this outside the center line. She's pulling it awfully close though, which
Yeah, this looks like it's almost going to be a freeze or a draw behind.
yeah, they're pulling it all the way in, which that's there's definitely a double there. I'll probably be throwing the double with a lot of weight and have this be my good miss.
Yeah, if you.
I mean, this is a good call too. This is a conservative call. They're going to call a timeout and think about it.
Right. I mean, if you can run that guard back and get rid of at least one of those yellows, you're looking a lot better.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to look at running the guard back necessarily because you have more of a potential of leaving your shooter up there. Which, I mean, if you're going to hit that guard, I think you definitely want to clear that guard. I kind of like the double. I still like the double.
Yeah, I mean, if you leave them a chance to keep guarding that, it makes it a lot tougher.
Yeah. Fred, what do you think?
What's she thinking about a double?
She was looking at. I was looking at the double. She looked at it briefly. It didn't look like she liked it. She was getting ready to throw a peel on the top yellow, and she called timeout.
I like the top yellow. Try to get a double that way. Run the top yellow into one of the others. Maybe get the double.
Yeah, that was Adam's shot. I was a little worried about leaving your shooter in the way.
Yeah, well, you want to peel it. I mean, you want to play it for a peel, if anything.
Right, but I mean, if you're trying to run it,
hit the crotch double.
Right. I think I throw the crotch double with the peeling the guard as my good miss.
Yeah.
I mean, it is last Vice Rock, so they do have a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, they could definitely still peel. Let's see what they went with.
Seems like a good call for the coach's timeout, though, for this debate.
And looks like they are going with the peel.
But with that turn where if she's a little wide, she's going to get one of the back.
Oh, yeah. Looking pretty good. Oh. No, I think they have it. Something could happen, yeah. Oh. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I don't think anybody saw that coming out of that result.
Yeah, I saw a jam on the other side. I did not see that.
It's a bit of an easier call for Fowler here to just throw something in front of that mess.
Yeah, I agree with our friend Todd over here. A tap is a good play here. Put another one in because if you try to guard, you can't guard both doubles, and then you leave Lindgren a shot. If you tap this other one straight back to the four, it's super trouble.
Well, this weight looks a little hot for the guard.
Yeah, they may be throwing that tap whether they like it or not. I don't think it's that much, but.
This is looking for,
I mean, whether that was their called shot or not, that's a pretty nice shot.
The Todd Hebert call all the way, 100%.
She's looking for a triple.
Quad would be nice too, but that's.
I don't think there's a quad there, much as I want there to be.
Lindgren's going to be thinking about cutting her to one here too, and keeping that in her mind because she's force the extra end. One's not the end of the world. You get the extra end. You don't want to
lose the game here.
Right, don't lose the game here.
So get rid of those top ones and
you
leave an opportunity for the last round.
Yeah, I feel like if you get I'm trying to find a way to get the top all of the top three out. It's tough.
Did you hit the thin double on the right side here? The ones that are closer together?
Yeah.
I think you hit this top one hard at about 11 o'clock, and you take those two off, and she's going to put up a perfect guard. And you still have
And the jam in the back is unlikely. I guess it doesn't matter that much anyway.
Yeah, as long as you open up the two of those rocks in the front and get rid of them so you have a shot at the counter in your next one.
assuming they can't put up a perfect guard.
Right.
And she is throwing plenty of weight, so as expected. See how much ground she can move. And rolls it to freeze.
Yeah, that roll was not what they were looking for.
Ended up not being quite hard enough to move enough rocks.
Right. So Fowler's going to try to block this back up. And like you were saying, Fred, they're going to have a tough time cutting Fowler to 1 here.
Looks like there might be a draw around the other side.
There could be a draw on the outside. You're definitely right there, Adam.
It's going to be high pressure with not a lot of room for error.
Right, and not something they've seen at all recently.
Easier said than done to put up the perfect guard. But she can put a
Yes.
flush counter in is a good shot
Right.
too. If she can.
As long as it's in front somewhere, they'll be happy.
It's like a wreck off of the top yellow would be nice.
Yeah, but as long as they can roll it in front, yeah.
It's got a draw around the
There's
outside.
the draw that Adam saw, and it's there. We're looking at a
It
bump.
might be a triple. Nose hit.
Nose hit triple.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
Not easy.
I just don't think we've seen the weight out of.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the other thing about the nose hit here, I throw the nose hit because if you hit it on the nose, then you hold it at 1. You get the extra. You play the extra end. Play this long raise. Then wow.
Right, but the trouble I think with the nose hit is that I don't think we've seen the weight out of Lindgren to clear 2 of those. It's possible. I guess I do like it more than the long raise.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways to get that.
I mean, she'd be able to draw a full 4 around this corner guard without having to use it as a raise.
Well, she's going for the tap, and if she gets, full 4, she cuts him to 1. She gets the piece of the button. She wins the game.
We'll see what you can do with it.
It seems like quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, that's more than I was expecting. Yeah. I think, yeah.
It's going to be a win for Fowler here.
Yeah, that's 3 for Fowler, and that's game Fowler. Congratulations, Team Fowler.
Exciting game. We managed to have another exciting game on the featured sheet.
Absolutely.
So that's Caitlin Fowler's rink from Alaska, ranked number 8 out of the peer seeding, defeating Team North Dakota 1, Abigail Lindgren and Skip, ranked number 5 out of the peer seeding on our featured sheet tonight.
So one more thank you to our sponsors, Dunkin' Donuts of Lexington, Whole Foods of Wayland, and Brooms Up Curling Supplies. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Adam and Ben. Nice job.
Oh, yeah, it's great casting with you, Fred, Adam. One quick review of the scores before we go. We had Solom over Brecky, 8-2. Again, Lindgren just finishing up against Fowler. Fowler winning 8-6. We had Sweet over Schroeder, 9-5. And Christensen over Anderson, 10-3.
So be sure to join us all day tomorrow for our draws at 8 a.m., noon, 4 p.m., and 8 p.m., and the whole rest of the week.
Thanks, Amy, for manning the controls and getting our mics to work.
Telling us we're all too quiet. Have a great night, everybody.